when I was doing my meditation, this was like our small living area, right? So I had set my mat out down lengthwise, and I was seated on the floor with my back against this partition here. And the figure, that decomposing man figure, he came from like about here, right in front of me.
Is there anyone here? What did you find? You are listening to Supernatural Confessions.
My girlfriend and I booked a BTO, which is only going to be ready in 2023. And we wanted to live together for the time being. We looked around, we wanted a place somewhere in the east, and we found this spot here along Marine Parade Road. I signed the contract in March. I moved in April, on April 1st. We have a loft up there. That's where our bed is, our bed was. For the first 2 weeks, went out, take care of the house, clean up and all that. And I would usually take an afternoon nap. And on at least 2 occasions, I would stir awake. I have this feeling of a presence just like looming over my shoulder. And when I opened my eyes from my peripheral vision, I could almost see like this tall, dark shadow just like watching me. I could feel like I wasn't alone, I could feel something there, but I just brushed it off and I thought, perhaps it was something else, So that was the first 2 weeks. In the later half of April, after my girlfriend's, hectic period at work, she was spending more time at home, and there was one night in particular, she had a dream. She dreamt that she rose from her bed. She came down the stairs and into this corner right here. That's where our dog was in the dream. So he looked a bit scared, and he was sitting in the corner. He was obviously afraid of something. And in that dream, my girlfriend had that feeling to go towards him and look into his eyes to see what he was afraid of. I mean, that's the kind of message she got in her dream. So she looked into my dog's eyes, and in the reflection of his eyes, she saw a male figure, shadowy, dark, and that figure was somewhere in this corner. That figure was trying to grab at my girlfriend, and it freaked her out. She described this whole dream to me the following morning, but she didn't give me a really detailed description of that figure. So I was like, shit, that's another sign perhaps, that this place might not be the best for us. And then things were okay for the week after that. We noticed after a while, after that dream, that our dog would, on some days, and it's always between about 5:30 to 7 p.m. It's always during that period. He would, out of the blue, just stare at that exact corner where he was in the dream. He would stare, he would start quivering, shaking, whining, whimpering. You could see all the signs that he was afraid. His tail would be tucked between his legs. He would start whining and usually cowering. And he would either take shelter around the corner or run up or just be around us. And it's always the same time, between 5 and 7 p.m. in the same corner. It would happen almost every other day, sometimes 2 or 3 days in a row. One particular day where things got really quite spooky, my girlfriend was out at work and she had the whole day there. She was only going to return home at around 9 or 10 p.m. at night. So I was alone at home the whole day. And my plan for that day was to prepare dinner, and then I would take a shower and I would do my meditation. So at about 5 o'clock, I started preparing dinner. I was cooking and all that. And my dog, who was upstairs at the loft, he suddenly came running down the stairs, and he was staring at that same corner. And again, he started whining and quivering and whimpering and all that. But at that point, I just ignored it. So I finished cooking, I took a shower, I put my mat out, and I was going to sit down to meditate, which was right here against this wall. The moment I sat down and I closed my eyes, and immediately the first thing I saw was this male figure who was to the left of my field of vision, and he walked from my left, right, dead center. What I saw was a skinny, frail-looking man, probably average height. He had very thin, long hair. It was wet and it was almost matted. It came down to his shoulders. Not wearing any clothes, I couldn't see his facial features. I could see the shape of his face, the silhouette, but none of the features. The grossest part about the whole thing, the whole image, was that he was decomposing. I remember seeing his arms very clearly, and the flesh was peeling off. It looked semi-decomposed. There were bits of flesh falling off his extremities and all that. His entire body was this dark brown, almost black. So this was happening in my mind, and at exactly the same moment I started seeing all these things, my dog came next to me and he started whining. So that's got me pretty anxious, pretty scared. So I stopped my meditation immediately, and the moment I stood up, I could feel a definite presence right in front of me. The feeling is, yeah, some people describe it as goosebumps, but to me it's more than that. It's like the air in that spot vibrates. It's like a different frequency. You can feel like a buzz or a hum in the air, and it's only in that particular spot. So I was a bit curious. I stood at that spot and I could feel like my whole body was tingling, this difference in the air and all that. And the moment I took, a few steps to the left or to the right, away from that spot, it felt totally fine. So while all of this was happening, my dog was scared. He ran back up, I think. So like for the first time in my life, I actually spoke out loud, and I told this thing, whatever it was, to just get the hell out. I said that we've done nothing to disturb you, so just leave us alone. You're not allowed here, and just get the fuck out. But he still lingered for a while, like from the door up to that wardrobe in that area. And it was there for like, I don't know, 15 minutes or so. So I did what I could at that point. I played some mantras. I tried to console and comfort my dog, but he was quite out of it. Yeah. And immediately I texted my girlfriend, who was still at work at that time, and I said, I think I know exactly what you saw in your dream. And she was like, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I said, don't worry, everything's okay at home. Just come home and I'll tell you. So when she came home, she was like, obviously, what happened and all that. And I told her that this is what happened. I sat down to do my meditation. The moment I closed my eyes, I saw this man, and at the same time, our dog started whining, And I explained all the features that I could see about this male spirit. And she's like, that's exactly what I saw in my dream. All this while, I've been telling my sister about what's been happening at the house and all that. And whatever we tried didn't seem to work. She's back at my parents' house, right? And she told me that she'll do what she can from there to see how she can help the situation at the house. And she said that when she tuned in to the house, the energy of the house was very good because it didn't seem like grounded. It was flitting between the physical dimension and otherworldly dimensions, And she said she almost felt like there was like a portal between the other dimensions and the physical dimension. And I was like, that's exactly what this freaking corner is. So she told me, okay, like, tune into this corner and imagine like sealing it, in your mind. So that's what I did, and I was in the corner. I was standing in the corner here. My altar was just to my right, and this corner was to my left. And the moment I closed my eyes to like tune into this corner, it really did seem like a portal. There was like a hole. I saw this like a crack, which was irregularly shaped, right? So I was like tuning into that crack or that hole, and I saw two faces. One was just from the top of the head to just above the mouth, I think. So it's just the eyes and the nose. Soon after that, I saw another face, but just eyes, just red eyes. Well, it looked like they were peering out from it, I tried like closing it and like guarding it, protecting it, the help and the protection of deities. And it seemed better after that, at least for a few days. But after those few days, the same occurrences again. My sister has two friends who've lived in this area for, I think, most of their lives, I guess. And they said that many years ago, this entire house, before it was compartmentalized or segmented into the different units. It was like a New Age spiritual center.
What did you find?
You are listening to Supernatural Confessions.